Welcome to Live 365 Radio. It's your girl Stacy J, and welcome to episode 28. And today I am having a dope conversation with another dope guest. Her name is Ivory Shields. She is a holistic healer and a trauma-informed therapist. She's been doing some transformation in her life, and you know I like to have conversations about transforming our life personally, with our community and everything. So welcome to the show, Ivory.
Ashe, Ashe, peace, 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 sis. Thank you for having me, Queen. Glad to.
Oh, absolutely no problem. We met through a mutual friend, and those like energies just connect kind of like automatically. It's not forced. It's not pushed or anything, and that was our connection as well. So I know you have your radio show, and you are out there healing the culture. That's what
Yeah.
you're doing, and so it's just so fitting to have you on. And so today I wanted to just talk about a little bit about taking back our lives with holistic healing. And so when people think of that, or if you don't know what that means, is holistic medicine is a form of healing that considers the whole person, body, mind, spirit, and emotions. So we think about holistic, it's herbs and trying to get away from the traditional medicines, but also it's a lot of work that can be done on a higher level side to help you with past trauma or anything like that. So tell us a little bit about, what made you start into this journey of healing yourself and others.
Absolutely. So for me, I started to have these moments in my life where everything around me seemed great on paper.
Mhm.
I had the husband, I had the big houses, I had the
Mhm.
nice cars, I had the great job, I had all of this stuff that looked fantastic,
Mhm.
but I was miserable. I was miserable. And I had just this gnawing in my spirit that I just couldn't ignore.
Mhm.
And that's really what sort of nudged me on this journey of self-awareness and healing.
Yes. And I can agree with you on that because that was my story. Married, children, a nice career, making money. We were sharp. We were sharp. We had cars. We were dressed nice and all that. But again, when we talk about facades or just what things look like, you don't know what a person's going on the inside. And a lot of people ignore that gut feeling or that intuition that keeps, coming up. And we kind of ignore it because it's like, well, maybe I'm tripping. I'm supposed to do this, and some of that comes from what have you seen in your family that said, oh, well, my mom stuck it out or my uncle stuck it out. And so that's a feeling you can't ignore. And so when I as well started on my journey, it was like something's just not right. And if this is what my forever looks like, I don't think I want to do it. I don't think I want to do it.
Woo! If this is what my forever looks like, give me a razor blade. I'm about to cut my wrist, drive the car off the
Right
road,
now.
because I ain't gonna be able to do this. So, and I just, when I put that out, at the time I was still sort of in Christianity and going to church and reading the Bible and all this kind of stuff. So I really got into the church, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, I was asking God, like, hey, I need some answers.
Yeah.
So I'm showing up in church every week and I'm still feeling the same, you
Right.
know? And it wasn't until I started, God, the universe, God, the
Mhm.
universe, I use that word interchangeably. It wasn't until then God started lining me up with people who were opening my eyes to things.
Right.
Um, and so that was really sort of the catalyst. I got a
Mhm.
divorce, and excuse me, and that was the catalyst
Right.
for me, just going on this journey of self-discovery. And just want to, peel back those layers a little bit more as far as holistic healing goes. I read this quote a while back, and it's so profound and it's so encompassing. It says, you are what you feed your five senses.
Yes.
So we are what we look at on television, what we feed our eyes, what we're watching, what we're seeing. We are what we listen to, what kind of music we listen to, what kind of
Mhm.
people we're listening to. We're what we eat, we're what we smell, and we're what we taste, touch. So who
Touch.
we are around physically. And
Yeah.
so when you talk about holistic healing, you've got to tap all of those five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus that sixth sense, which is the
Yeah.
metaphysical, which is the the other, the unseen. Okay,
Hmm.
that's God. So when we talk about holistic healing, you got to make sure that you are improving in all of those different areas. So
Yeah.
not just, or in addition to the supplements and turning away from like Western medication and
Hmm.
chemicals, going back to plants and natural herbs and spices.
Yeah, and I think that too, when the first thing is acknowledging I need change, The second thing is removing people. And I hate to say it because sometimes those people are a husband, a wife, parents, or people that is very close to you, and that's hard because when you think like, is it my family that's toxic, or people in my family that's toxic, or people I grew up with that we feel like we have to hold on to them, and that's like a first step of, to me, detoxing. And then I like to look at these three areas: is what is your overall mission for your life? Like, we don't know sometimes. It's like, I get it and it's okay, but what is my overall mission, for my life? Is it to be empowered, enhance my health, have a better relationship with people, not let other people's energy get off me, and vice versa? Also, what do you envision your life to be? You know what I mean? Because if you can't see what your life looks like, and I'm not even speaking of 15, 20 years from now, that's a little far. What does your immediate life looks like, or what do you want it to look like, and kind of start to shape that. And that may be removing all these things that you're so accustomed to. And then the last thing is, what are your core values? Like, your integrity, your compassion. And I had to go through those steps myself, and, being in that marriage, but also the last relationship that I talk about all the time. And I know people like, we know, but it was the catalyst that helped me say, I've always been an empowerment person. I've always done some type of work in some capacity. But that last one, and I have to tell him,
Always fun.
not face to face, but thank you, because this is the work that I've needed a long time ago, that was like edging me. You should be doing this. Like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then you fall right back off. And it's okay. But now it's a consistent thing. And so I recognize energy
Wow.
so well now. I understand when somebody's energy has gotten on me. And I'm like, what is wrong? I just don't, I feel edgy or frustrated. Encourage people to kind of look at those areas. Don't be afraid to lose people or lose things and attachments, because I saw a book on Audible. I haven't read it. Says Becoming a Nobody. And I was like, you think of that, you're like, I don't want to be nobody, you know what I mean? But I understood from the title, what I saw was, and I didn't read it, is, a lot of people looking for fame and trying to be this person. I only want to be famous for helping people. I don't want to be famous for stupid stuff, or, what I'm wearing or anything like that. And so those are just some important things. And I know you've been working with clients and, just kind of helping them. So what are some of the things that you do with your clients?
Wow, you just said a mouthful
I
then.
know.
And a lot of people know me as an actress.
Yeah.
Um, and someone asked me the other day, "Do you want to be famous?" And I said, my response was, which it always has been, I want to be famous and known for encouraging people to heal from trauma.
Yes.
That's what I want to be famous for. It's great being an actress and people seeing you on television and, oh, I saw you, and
Hmm.
that's wonderful and
Yeah.
that's great. And I'm glad that that inspires someone. But it doesn't feel me nearly as much as when someone tells me something you said, something you advised me to do, when spirit gave me this, when spirit gave you that download and you told it to me, it changed my life. That
Hmm.
makes me full.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to be known for and famous for.
Hmm.
And so a lot of the things that I do with my clients, I am a spiritual life coach. And I also incorporate holistic healing. And
Hmm.
because I'm an intuitive, I use a lot of different modalities to help my clients just really navigate their spiritual awakening journey
Right.
and this self-discovery and self-awareness and remembering who they are, because when we remember who we are, that's empowering. That's what
Hmm.
empowers us, and that is how we live out our purpose. um,
Right.
and so some of the things that I do, of course, all of the astrology and numerology, working in nature,
Hmm.
meditation, different forms of meditation, journaling, healing past childhood trauma, healing mother wounds, healing
Hmm.
father wounds,
Yeah.
child wounds, all of that work. And and it's always good, I think a lot of people don't understand the value of having a coach, um, because they don't know really what it looks like. They don't
Right.
know what that kind of work looks like. And I'll share a story with you. I have a friend whose son is who's going through a spiritual awakening.
Hmm.
He was admitted to a psychiatric hospital and they put him on all of these medications. And just me receiving downloads about him, I'm like, he's going through a spiritual awakening, and listening to him speak, I'm like, yeah, this is what's happening with you. You've been woke for a while. You've been
Right.
trying to wake up, but the people that you are around are hindering you. They're
Yeah.
blocking you. And it's just really spirit just whooping on you, letting you know that, hey, you got to make some changes because this is what you're being called to do.
Right.
So I share that story because if you don't have a coach around you, if you don't have someone in your circle who is aware of these things, you'll get kind of lost in the sauce, and
Yeah.
you will be in these mental health facilities thinking that something you have a mental health disorder. When
Right.
in fact, you're just waking up, and it's spirit really trying to get your attention.
Yeah, I agree because I think that's when how when something happens and people go, I can't explain this, and we just think of we like, is it my head? Is it my? We don't think spiritual. And I'm finding so many people from the pandemic 2020 to now are waking up. And so when you talk to somebody that's woke, you almost like, oh my God, let's be friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you don't meet a lot of those people. And I think it's intentional. I think light workers are spread out over the world, so they're not in groups, so you don't catch it. So then you be called, you're weird or you whatever. I'm like, I'm okay with it, but I have been meeting people. Or even when I post something online, you could tell people that's going, "Gone, girl," and it's just really a thumbs up to what you're saying. And then people that chime in, where it's like, welcome,
Hey, hey.
yeah, and so this is such a beautiful experience, and that's why I wanted to have you on. It's because you're right. When I bring guests on, a lot of them are coaches and business people that are teaching this. And so I always say, you have a coach for your training, you have a coach for different areas of your life, but we don't think about life coach. Well, with life coaching, but specific. You know what I'm saying, to what your needs are. If it's you're looking to be in a love relationship again and stuff like that. It's some work that need to be done individually before you just like get you a dating coach. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
those are things that I've just been so happy to witness, is talking with people that I feel like when I'm talking about the universe, because I do that too. I use God and the universe interchangeably as well. But when you think about it and talk to people like that, it's so exhilarating. And I'm like you, if I'm famous and I'm on somebody's billboard, I want to be a life changer. I want to be something that people are actually gravitating to and seeing a shift in their lives.
Absolutely, 1000%. That's all I want to be famous for. That's all I want to be known for. I love people. I do what I do. I have my platform. I show up because I love people, and I genuinely want people to feel good. I
Mm-hmm.
I'm just one of those people. I don't like to see people hurting. I
Yeah, me
want
either.
and suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and um, And so that's why I show up and I do the work that I do, because I genuinely um, don't like to see people suffering, especially when they don't have to.
I was just having, I promise you, the universe, I was just having this conversation with my friend. I said, I don't like, people don't have to hurt. You know what I mean? Like the unnecessary. I know if there's an ailment, that's a different type of pain. But I'm
Right.
saying there's so many different instances, relationships or work or whatever. It's like if you don't like it, how can you change it? What do you need to do? Because we're in control of our own lives. And some people don't, I think, truly believe that. And I always use that example. I don't know if you heard about the dog on the nail. And it was like, the guy's like, well, why is the dog moaning like that? And the guy's like, because he's laying on the nail. And then he said, well, why don't you get him off of it? And he says, well, when he gets tired of being in pain, he'll get off of it. And
Yeah.
so when I hear someone speak to me, because as like you, people probably call you all the time for advice or coaching, and you hear what they say, and it's like you're quite not there yet where you're ready to make a shift. And no matter how much coaching you do, you have to, you're the vessel. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to get up and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
Yeah.
so I want to see my life change. And the dynamics is beautiful, but the course of it may not be. Like I was saying, my phone used to ring all the time, like all the time, right? So now my phone don't ring. I be like
It's
you, it's
normal.
an addiction. You think like, why isn't my phone ringing? Why isn't somebody calling me? But
Yeah.
I posted the other day. I love it here. Like I okay not being as accessible. I'm okay with minding my business. You listen to stuff. It was a meme that was funny. It was about a Sagittarius. It was like she was hiding behind a tree. She's like close enough to hear it, but far enough not to be in it. So we
I,
all like a little something, but I just enjoy my life so much more now. And I had to embrace it because I thought I was missing out on something. Like,
yeah.
being out. And I'm like, ooh, they did what? And so people don't understand that sometimes being taken aback and away from people is a blessing. And
Ooh,
so I want people to be able to know that there's individuals like you that are out here that they can sit down. And I always say it's a beautiful thing to talk to somebody you don't know because they don't know you. And the chances of it's confidentiality. So
yep.
you don't have to worry about your friend going back and telling your business to everybody because you're in the privacy and the comfort and the confidence of a professional.
Absolutely, for sure. And all of my clients, we sign a confidentiality agreement, because what goes on between you and I is what goes on between you and I. And stories that I share, I've already gotten permission, or I'll never like give names or anything like that.
Right.
Just testimonies. But that you touched on an excellent point of how you used to be out there and everybody had access to you, and those were such, when you said that, I'm like, wow, um what's the word I'm looking for, operative words, access, people having so much access to you. um when you are going through such when you are going, this is for the people who are going through these spiritual awakenings, or people who are already awakened and very sensitive. Like my energy is very sensitive, um,
Mm-hmm.
up on people's energies. And I think that you are the same way. We have to
Mm-hmm.
be very careful about people having so much access to us.
Yeah.
It can throw us off kilter.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't know how to cleanse, if we don't know how to keep ourselves in balance,
Mm-hmm.
um, it can be dangerous for us.
Yeah, and that happens with the relationships. You think about it, you open up to receive anything, and you'll make it to be what you need it to be because you're not really clear. And I was saying when you go, what makes you happy? Sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you don't know. And I'm not saying it's wrong, people. I'm saying these are questions. Like now, go back and go, what do make me happy? And if you can't define that, maybe now we need to take a deeper dive. And I've been doing work. I'm working with a young lady and a gentleman that do soul clearing. And so I've had my soul cleared. And when I got my report, I was like,
Okay.
well, the good thing was my percentages were really, really good. I had a couple that was like could be worked on, but overall, I had really good percentages. My survival for life, appeasement, um, I had a crystal dagger in my back from a family member, and people not, I don't have no real dagger, but
Right.
contracts that have been made from past generations for 20 generations. She cleared it from 20 generations past. So sometimes you like when you hear that now, you're probably going, what is she talking about? But until you at least take a little step, talking to Ivory or talking to a Leota and finding out what are these people talking about. You got to have some type of interest in it because it's true, that things can be put on you or just growing up with your family. Your mom might have not known. Come on, because did we
Yeah.
really know? And you follow suit like I'm gonna raise my child. You pick up some of those traits how your mom raised you. Maybe then you get old and go, I don't know if this is the best way. So I just encourage everybody not to be afraid to step out and talk to people. And these people that, you see that are awakened or they talk differently. It's a beautiful thing to talk to them because it's already in you. It's already in you. It's just a matter of getting those people away from you that's going, girl, I won't be paying for no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because everybody pays for a personal trainer. Everybody wants to pay to make their body look good. We'll pay for a plastic surgeon.
mhm,
We'll pay for business advice and consulting. We'll pay on how to make more money. But what we don't understand is all of that other stuff that I just listed. That
mhm.
on top of the foundation of your spirit and your soul.
And they
So,
want to talk to you for free. They want to talk to you for free.
and they want to talk to us for free. And you know, it's fine to want to talk to someone for free, okay, that's fine. But it's like when we talk about getting into the work and
Right.
understanding that, like when I work with my clients, I'm preparing for you. I'm preparing lessons for you. I'm
Right.
preparing activities for you. I'm meeting you in these spaces so we do the work together.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I do have to be compensated for my time. I gotta survive too, you know.
Right.
But understand that that's work that goes into you and
Yes.
your development.
Yes.
And it really is the foundation for all of this other stuff.
Yes, it is. It is. And
Truly.
yeah, it's from everything from business, from when you're happy and clear from the inside, the choices you make with it. I remember when I was taking little odd jobs because used to be, I use the word hustler then. I don't like to use that word now, but however, you do what you got to do. And I
Yeah.
was taking low pays from people that I'm like, really? But because I enjoyed what I did and I said, bigger purpose, da 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 da. But then I got to the place where, know your worth. You know what I mean? And then add tax, as they say, you're
Uh-huh.
doing this, but I don't live anymore in survival. I don't live in those type of spaces. And so now it's like, yeah, if I'm very clear about I don't want to do something or pass up an opportunity, I don't feel guilty anymore. Because as women, we feel guilty about everything. So, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that because they're going to think this and that. But now, if it doesn't feel good, if it's not a definite yes, it's a no. That's just simple as it is.
Yes, 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 and yes, sis.
Yes. So I want to thank you so much for taking some time out, guys, because she's an actress. She is a transformational coach and she's beautiful. And all we need to do is tap in to people like that. If people are looking at us and going, oh, she seems happy. She said, we are,
We
and I said,
are right.
come join us.
Right.
Join us. It's fun over here.
Right. And I'm not saying, I don't wake up some days and I'm not feeling my best. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a 10 every single day as far as my spirit and everything. I have days where it's like, damn, but for the most part, in the bigger scheme of things, in the grander picture, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Here's the last thing I'll give, and I'll say to you guys is this. You're absolutely right. Yesterday, I had a moment. I was kind of burnt out because I'm working on this Netflix show, and you know how those hours are. So I'm doing that. I'm kind of going to bed late at night. Trying to do the radio show and all this kind of stuff. Not trying, doing. And I think it had fell on me. But it was an energy that I was like, I felt it like trying to fester. So I said, let me walk it off. And then I came in, I have a little meditation place with my clearing candle and stuff. So what we're saying, guys, is the work that she teaches or that I'm sharing with you guys helps you to overcome those moments in your life better. Imagine if you don't have the training, you're like, oh my God, oh, I can't, whatever.
Out of control.
Yeah, but when you have the tools, I was like, okay, I feel my energy is kind of off. Walk it off. Walk it off. Don't throw nothing. Don't cuss nobody out. Walk it off. So that's what these tools are for, are to help you when you wake up not on that 10. When somebody at work gets on your nerve, when the traffic is backed up, you can find that tool that has been taught to you. Where do I go? Where do I go? I breathe. I namaste. I hold my fingers. Whatever it is, that is what coaches are there for, to create a plan for your life for handling tumultuous situations.
Precisely.
Amen.
Precisely. You got it, sis. That's
yeah. So how do people get in touch with you to do this work? Because I feel such a shift that's happening now, and I want people to be able to get in contact with you for their, for counseling or coaching or whatever we want to call it.
Definitely. So you can follow me on Instagram. I am Ivory Shields, and you can go to my website, iamivoryshields.com, and you can email me info@ivoryshields.com, and I will definitely respond to you. And yeah, let's work. Let's
and you can catch on the big screen, guys. You were in the Aretha Franklin, right?
I was in the Aretha Franklin story, and in October, I believe, when the next season of Queen Sugar starts, I'll be in that. So, yeah, look out for that.
Energy on set,
Yes, it's gonna be good. I'll be in 4 episodes of that. I booked a recurring role in that one, so that'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and energy, guys. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube page, Live 365 Radio ATL, so you'll know when I'm dropping, episodes like this with beautiful people that are helping you live your life on purpose and creating the life that you desire. So until next time, thank you, and we will see you.